I am going to assemble the second of my Valentine's Day banners. And the first thing that I did was cut my piece of, I just used like a baker's twine. You could use regular twine, you could use a different yarn, pretty much anything. And I'm gonna take a small piece of Scotch tape and I'm just gonna wrap it around the end so that I have a nice clean edge to kind of push through the holes that I've put in my different elements of my banner. I don't need a ton. It just kind of keeps the end of the twine from fraying, and then I also will cut that so it has kind of like a pointy end. Okay, and so as I feed these pieces through, I'm going to thread the same way. And before I started, I mapped out my whole pattern. So I'm gonna go with small pink heart, large red heart, small pink heart, oops, got two, and as you can see, that tape just makes it a lot easier to thread this. And then I'm gonna do an envelope and then repeat that pattern. So what I did to make this file is I just took a heart-shaped silhouette. You could do this right in Cricut Design Space and just pull it as a JPEG and pull the background out of it. And then you can just scale it differently for the red and the pink. And I just grabbed my ruler, I made the pink ones a little over 2, probably about 2 1/4 inches wide. And then the red ones are about 3 1/4 inches wide. So that gives you a nice kind of difference in the size. And then my envelopes are 4 by 2.5. All that I did on the envelopes is I used just a gray Crayola marker in my Cricut, which is not recommended, but does actually work. And I created just a triangle shape, or 2 sides of a triangle, and had my Cricut do a draw and cut on the envelopes. And then I scaled down that same heart to about 1 inch wide, and I hot glued those little hearts right on. And the nice thing is that when you set these up in Cricut, you can print, or excuse me, you can cut all of your pink hearts at the same time, you can cut all of your red hearts at the same time, and then you can do a draw and cut on the white cardstock all at the same time. It's a very quick project to both lay out and cut, and really simple to put together. And I did 4 of the red hearts, 8 of the pink hearts, and then 3 of the envelopes for my pattern. And that fits nicely on like a mantle, but you could also just make more and extend that pattern out if you wanted it to be longer. The other thing that I did when I was planning the file, and I actually did this right in Design Space, I do normally create all of my patterns in Adobe Illustrator and then just save it as an SVG, but this project could very easily be done in Cricut Design Space. I, in Design Space, just added really small, about 1/8 of an inch circles on the edges of my hearts, and then in a bit on the edges of the envelopes. You don't want to go too close to the edge because you could end up tearing through it by accident. But you do want to, you know, have it high enough up towards the top so that they sit nicely. These hang really nicely, and they're probably between a 1/4 of an inch and a 1/2 inch down on each of the shapes. So as you can see, it's really easy to just continue following this pattern, and I'm feeding all of my baker's twine just right down through this, coming back up through the front, and it's just a really quick project that gives you a really nice Valentine's Day decoration. And when I am all done, I've got this nice garland, and I'm just gonna clip off that piece of tape and it's all ready to be hung.